What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you back to another installment of San Diego Prep Insider, where we talk to some of the best high school athletes around the San Diego section. It's Eileen O'Brien joining us from San Pasqual. She is committed to play field hockey at West Chester. She's only a junior now, so you're getting in on 2 great years of watching her here before she changes over to the purple and gold. Thank you so much for being on with us, Eileen. Let's talk about this season. It's just getting underway for you guys. What's going on this year?
So we are kind of coming out of the pandemic kind of ruffle. And it's been a little bit harder for us to get back into gear. But I think that we're playing Division I this year. It'll be a great growing opportunity. We have a lot of freshmen, a smaller senior class, but a lot of freshmen coming in. So our program will continue to grow for the next couple of years. And I'm really excited to see where it goes for SP, even when I'm gone.
So I want to say this, it was the year of your 8th grade year. You might have even been in 7th grade when San Pasqual kind of shocked Canyon Hills and won in the open division and moved on. Yes, you were not there for that.
Was when I was in 7th grade. Yeah.
7th grade. Okay, so
yeah.
So you say San Pasqual is kind of building back up, but we've seen you guys at the height of the height recently. Do you feel like this group of freshmen right now, plus your junior class leadership, that could be where you guys are headed back again? Or are we getting in early now on the bandwagon is what you're saying?
I think that with COVID, we were at a peak and then it kind of dropped down and we lost people and girls graduated, and it's been different and harder to get back into that gear that we were. We have a really athletic freshman class and a very large junior class. And I expect us to be competitive this year. We're playing Division I, no longer open. Competitive this year with the teams we'll be playing against, and pretty competitive my senior year as well. But we'll have to see how everyone grows and continues to play. But I expect a good 2 things for SP in Division I for the next 2 years.
So for you, what have you had to change, or what have you had to step up in terms of the leadership role this year, filling kind of that void? Have you had to approach this season differently than anything else you've ever approached before?
Well, so we've only had 1 game, and it was this past Tuesday against Poway. And so we're just getting started. But last season, I had played defense for 5 out of my 6 years of playing field hockey, and I needed to step up my sophomore year and play forward. So transitioning out of the defense mindset and going to the forward mindset was something that was different for me, but I had to do it for my team. But this year, I'm now switching from forward to midfield, and I'm really excited because me and Mackenzie Lesso were our 2 centers for midfield, and I'm really excited to continue to work with her and transition the ball, defense, mid, and forwards. And the 2 of us are the connectors to all lines. I'm really excited to just work with her before she leaves to go off to Davis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you mentioned Mackenzie Lesso. She's another D1 commit, UC Davis bound. So you guys do have a little bit of talent you're messing around with this year.
We do. Yeah.
Is goalie going to happen? Because it sounds like that's the only thing left for you. Has goalie? Have you ever played goalie? Will there be a situation where you just go hey, I kind of got to check that off now that I've played everything else?
Well, actually, I did play goalie in 7th grade for
Okay, good. Then it's done.
Yeah. We've checked all the boxes. I will not be going back to goalie. I was not very good at it.
It seems like the most thankless job possible, because on a good day I guess on a good day your offense is just in possession the whole time, but on a good day you have to block 40 shots. On a bad day you let 2 of them through and you lose. It seems like it's a no-win situation. Let's talk about your commitment. You decided on West Chester. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of juniors are this kind of confident that they have found their spot, and for you that isn't the case. What made this decision for you ultimately?
So, well, it kind of happened a lot faster than a lot of commitments that I've heard about. My family and I, with wanting to get my name out there with East Coast play, we decided to take a 6-week-long college recruiting trip this summer. And I was out there, I was visiting 3 schools a day, traveling around, doing a little road trip. And it was a lot. And I definitely got my name out there. But then I went to a 3-day clinic at West Chester, and I loved every bit of it. The head coach, Amy Cohen, is incredible. My dad is a coach, and he's coached me with my training and all that. And I knew looking for a coach, looking for a school, I wanted to find a program that I fit into, but also a coaching style that I fit into. And Coach Amy is incredible, and I'm really excited to get to work with her. And I'm really looking forward to growing my play in the next 2 years to then be the player that she needs me to be my freshman year.
You are also going to have to look forward to some winter. I know that field hockey, it's still a fall sport, yes, in college?
Yeah,
So,
I'm really excited. Being in California, we don't see snow like ever.
ever.
So
No, you'll see football games where it's like mid 60s and people are breaking out like the quarterback hand warmers and walking up and down the side. But I'm curious though, you'll get into like November-ish when the weather starts to change and the season is still going on in college. Do you anticipate, like, does snow or cold weather or anything like change the style of play? Because ultimately you still got to dribble it down on the field. And I'm assuming that like that's not something that every California kid is prepared for, right?
yeah, it's actually, I'm not totally sure because when it gets cold here and you like swing, it does kind of, you feel like
It hurts your hands.
in your hands. Yeah. But I've never experienced it. So it's something that like I'm looking forward to. Like the thing I've experienced here is it being so sunny that I'm frying at practice and just like sweat dripping down. But like we've never gotten to that cold point where it's been like so cold that like your hands feel like ice on your stick. And so I'm really looking forward to, and it sounds crazy, but I'm actually, my family's from the East Coast, like they're all used to the weather. I'm excited to go experience it, but also play like college sports doing it. So that's
It doesn't sound crazy. Though I did reach forward and I marked the tape so that in a couple years, when you are off at Westchester, we can run this back and see if you're still enjoying it quite as much. What would maybe be some advice then? I always like asking this that you would give out to some younger student athletes, because deciding by your junior year, like that took a lot of initiative, obviously. So someone who's in, freshman, seventh grade, just someone that's getting started right now and maybe doesn't know, like they know that they want to go play field hockey, but they just don't know where to look, what to do, how to get this whole process going. What advice might you give to them?
so with field hockey, West Coast play is different than East Coast play. And there's more schools on the East Coast. So I knew I wanted to play on the East Coast. So I had to get myself out there and make sure that I was being seen. And it's not just getting looked at tournaments, it's getting looked at on campus. If they have a clinic, you should try and be at every single one. I understand it's difficult, especially being in California where there's only 3 schools here. But if you want to get looked at, you need to have a presence in front of the coach, not just at like recruiting tournaments and combines and things like that. For me, getting FaceTime with the head coach, Amy Cohen, was the best thing for me. I don't think I would have had the opportunity if I had just emailed and sent film. While that's great and it works well, if you know where you want to go, making sure you get yourself there and show them like I'm determined, I want to be here, it'll definitely make them see more just about you, and they'll be more interested because you're putting in the time and work to get there and be there, and initiative just to have a presence. And my commitment happened really fast. I met in person the head coach Amy Cohen on Monday, and I committed that same Friday. Like,
Oh,
yeah, really fast, really fast. I got my scholarship on Wednesday, and then bam, Friday. But I was there for 3 days. On the first day, met the team, met Amy. Second day, I toured the campus. I read every single thing about Westchester field hockey that is online, literally every single thing. I think I know more than the people who wrote the things online know about Westchester now. And then on Wednesday, I I talked to Amy for like 15 minutes while we were scrimmaging and got offered my scholarship. I went to another school on Thursday touring because I drove to Connecticut after the shot for my scholarship, and I toured another school, and it was a beautiful campus, but I knew that I didn't belong there. I wanted to be at Westchester, and I didn't know why I was waiting to accept my scholarship. And so we called my mom back in California. We talked a little bit about it, called Amy, committed. It all happened really fast.
So I'm looking now, and I almost just want to like go up and down the page here and like quiz you on Amy Cohen to see if you. But let's start at this. What is your new mascot?
The Ram.
He has a name though.
Grammy.
Ah, there we go. Perfect. I like that. That's a great name for a mascot. So does this take some stress off of this year? I mean, there's always going to be stress when you're competing at the higher level like you are, but does this, I mean, you're now like not even thinking, you're just able to focus on this season for San Pasqual. Yeah.
Well, yes and no. My skill set that I've learned in California is different than what I need for when I go to Westchester. So these next 2 years, yes, I'm focusing on SP, I'm focusing on my club team with HTC, and we're focusing on growing my skills and everything I need for Westchester these next 2 years. But it's also about growing my game knowledge, my physical fitness, making sure I'm the best version of myself when I get there. And it feels comfortable, like being in my junior year, knowing where I'm going and knowing how to prepare for what I'm going to do there. And yeah, like it's all about just making sure that the person that I am when I get there is better than anything that could have been. So
You talk about the program needing to build up a little bit, and everybody across all sports are kind of the still coming out of COVID phase. How do you think we're going to do in terms, though, of the student section? Do we need a gentle call out to the San Pasqual fan base that, hey, like, they could use a little more support this year, or do you guys get pretty good love on campus?
um it's we're a smaller team.
You can be
So
completely honest. We have San Pasqual friends and enemies on this show, and I have no problem calling out whoever we need to call out on campus to get you guys a little bit more love.
we're a smaller team, so there's not a lot of attention on campus. But when we were in CIF last year, ASB represented us pretty well, and yeah, I wasn't disappointed.
Let's lean that more towards that. Maybe you could use a little bit more support this year. For you know, you like you said, the season's just starting, so they got a lot of opportunities. But I know for a fact, I'm just looking up and down here, that Wes Parker, Logan Reed, Noah Snyder, Jack Andrews, Eli Griffin, and Andrew Clark, you guys were all in studio. We gave you plenty of love. You can return the favor and go show some love on the San Pasqual football team, or from the football team to the field hockey team. For you, I mean, you mentioned that you've got to improve your skill set, and what do you think? Like, where are you setting goals for yourself for this year, for next year? For like, are you looking at, hey, we got to win 2 titles, I got to be all CIF both years, or are you more of the like super cliche, I just take it one game at a time person?
No, there are definitely bars that I need to reach. Last year I was first team all avocado league, and I want to make sure that I'm up there this year, trying to get my name in the paper, do the best I can. And just like we're just trying to make sure that I'm representing who I am as an athlete and representing who I want to be with my future growth. And there's not bars that are out there told to everyone, but they're things that I'm setting individually as I go to be like, okay, I've gotten here, now I need to improve to get to here, just like keep going up and up, because there's always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement. Even once you have your first championship, always room for improvement with that second championship and more on. What is the game? Like, who is the rival, or what is the, I mean, I know for you guys as a school, it's mostly Orange Glen, but as you guys as a program, do you have one that's like maybe the game that people need to come check out this year, or the game that you're just like, I want a piece of that team, I cannot wait for that one?
So, well, that's a very long answered question.
Please go. This is a podcast. No, there's no outs here. You can talk out. You can take every team down that you play all season.
Okay. So usually as a school, our rivals are mainly people that are in Escondido. But for field hockey, it's kind of all over the place. We're in a new division this year. We were in open last year, now we're in Division 1. So we actually haven't played most of the teams we're going to be playing this year. But last year we did have a bit of a battle with LCC, and we're hoping to have another opportunity to play them in maybe CIF or something, but it was kind of a very rough game for both sides and ended kind of nasty. And I hope that there's more like a better opportunity for us just to be playing the sport in a friendly manner. And
Rough
not
in
that.
field hockey is low key actually pretty brutal, because there's a lot of just kind of room, from my understanding, in those like scrums where stick butts and elbows and stuff can get like, it can get tossed around kind of aggressively.
Yeah, but let's not do that because then you get called for body and nobody wants that. But yes, it can get, I always think it's a sport where it's like, it's considered to be not a contact sport, but I think it is from the bruises that I've gotten and places, the ways sticks have hit me and balls and like everything is like ruffled around. I definitely think it should be considered a contact sport, but I'm hoping that if we have an opportunity to play some aggressive teams this year, that we rise to the occasion and we're able to perform.
So you're out for new blood. You're here to make new rivalries. But if you get another shot at LCC, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, but I also, in a friendly manner, growing and coming out of how the CIF situation went last year.
A good-natured bout with LCC in the first round, where you guys come out on top by 2 goals and maybe one of them draws blood. You know, just whatever happens there. But I agree with you completely, though, that field hockey is one of the sports that the amount of wear and tear on the body is absolutely underappreciated. And also just the toughness that it requires to, I feel like for the defenders or midfielders, when you get hit with a shot on goal or a hard pass or something like that, and it's like in the forearm or somewhere where you don't have a ton of padding, I've never seen a girl do much more than just like look at it and consciously go, okay, that hurts. But like most football players be like, I need 5 minutes. Ow. And every field hockey player is just like, yeah, okay, I get it. It hurts. I'll ice it afterwards. They're all just hanging there broken as shit and stuff. Girls athletes are very, very much tougher than guys across the board.
Yeah, I've gotten hit so many times that it's been pretty bad. I've got some nasty like bulges in my forehead from when I took a shot during the corner. But
you're saying as your time as a defender, you just took one straight to the face on a corner.
It actually was a miscommunication between my goalie and a girl on another team, and it was a collision. And my head going for the ball, I was going for it, and I ran into my own goalie's mask, and I blew up my entire eyebrow for like 3 weeks. It was not pretty, but thankfully it was during COVID season, so I didn't have to go to school like that. I just had to zoom in. Here's my gigantic like bump that I had. Oh, and her entire padding like scraped all over my like torso, so I had a huge bruise here and like bruises down my side.
Did you guys let the goal in, or did you stop the goal?
I'm pretty sure the goal was stopped, but then we had a corner right after, and I got hit so hard that I think I might have had a concussion, but I couldn't really hear, so going into that next penalty shot was not pretty.
You scored it for the others. Yay! I scored. My goodness. Okay, so you found the one good side to COVID. You had a good story out of it. You didn't have to see anybody afterwards. You drew some blood of your own goalie. Sounds like a hell of a play. Wish we had that one on tape. We will include all the information, and I thank you so much for spending some of your time. We'll include all the information, how you guys can check out San Pasqual this season. They have a lot of great games coming up. Definitely go check them out. Be on the lookout for when they get to play maybe LCC in the playoffs. Eileen, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Congratulations on making it to the next level once you get there. And before you graduate, we do need to get you in studio to sign the wall of commits. So promise us that before it's all over, before you graduate next year, we'll get you in here.
Definitely. I'll sign in like some purple and gold Sharpies.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're going to come branded like that, make sure you also have a signature that looks very like a logo more than anything.
Yeah, maybe I turn the E into like a ram somehow, like make it fancy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No. Hey, you might laugh about that, but we had a kid come in here last year from Lincoln football, and when everyone else was just signing their names, he goes over to the corner of the wall and he's like over there for a couple minutes, and it's legit his brand logo that he drew, and it's a J and an L like swooped in to be a like it looks like a like I don't know. It was a lot.
I'll definitely want to see that.
And all he said was, "You'll see this on merch next year." Okay. So yes, work on that signature. We'll see you in studio in the next couple of weeks or seasons. based on how long it took us to schedule this one, maybe next couple of years. But sports fans, this is just another one of the great student athletes here in San Diego that you absolutely need to check out. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. We'll talk to you guys soon.